He sat in the back row of the classroom, silent, invisible, and unwanted. His clothes were worn out, his shoes dusty, and his eyes hollow with shame. No one knew his name, but everyone knew his role. The boy who cleans the university toilets at night. One afternoon, during a presentation, the professor pointed at him and said, "And some of you think cleaning floors can lead to a PhD." The class roared with laughter. He didn't. He quietly gathered his notes and walked out. But what no one knew was, that boy wasn't walking away from the classroom. He was walking towards a destiny that would shock the entire university. His name was Zion. His father passed away when he was 10. His mother worked as a maid, barely able to feed them both. Yet Zion dreamed big. He got a scholarship to the university. But there was a condition. He had to work part-time as a janitor to afford his stay. During the day, he attended classes with torn books. At night, he scrubbed the same hallways where students mocked him. Sometimes, he even cleaned the very classrooms where he had been insulted that morning. One evening, he accidentally spilled water outside a staff room. A senior professor stepped out, slipped slightly, and turned in fury. Of course, who else? The toilet boy wants to be a student now. Zion stood frozen, holding his mop, eyes wide with embarrassment. The professor laughed and said, "Next time, clean your future before trying to change it." Zion didn't say a word, but that night, as he stared at the library through the glass window, he whispered, "Someday, I'll walk through that door, not as a janitor, but as a man of respect." Zion stopped, trying to fit in. Instead, he focused on standing out in silence. He studied while cleaning. He memorized lectures while wiping whiteboards. He started spending his nights reading in the janitor closet, sitting between a bucket and a broken chair. Whenever he had an extra hour, he read research journals discarded by professors. He even fixed his own laptop with second-hand parts, using it like treasure. He started writing, quietly, secretly. Zion wrote one paper after another. Emailed them to international professors. No one knew about it until one day a call came. "Hello, is this Zion? We've reviewed your paper on computational psychology. Would you like to present it in our International Youth Research Summit?" Zion froze. He didn't have the money for flights or hotels, but the invitation alone was enough to spark attention. The university found out. They didn't believe it at first, until they verified his paper had been accepted in a top European research conference. Now, the same professors who mocked him approached him with cautious smiles. "Zion, do you need help preparing your slides?" He simply nodded. At the age of 26, Zion returned from the summit with an international award and a research grant. 2 years later, he was invited back to his university as a guest lecturer. 3 years later, they offered him a permanent position. Today, Professor Zion walks through the same hallways. His office is next to the same staff room where he was once insulted. The same senior professor who humiliated him now avoids eye contact in meetings. One morning, during orientation, a student asked, "Sir, is it true you once studied here?" Zion smiled and replied, "I didn't just study here. I also cleaned the toilets." The room fell silent. He continued, "But what you clean doesn't define you. What you build does." Now, he's not just a professor. He's a mentor to dozens of underprivileged students. He started a scholarship program for janitor families. Every year, he selects one student who works part-time and personally trains them. Zion's story became a lesson in every orientation. Not because he rose, but because he rose without dragging anyone down. And perhaps the greatest victory, he still keeps that old mop, the same one he held when he was laughed at, not as a reminder of pain, but as a symbol of dignity. Because sometimes the dirtiest hands build the cleanest futures.